are many types of rings in our universe. There are onion rings, ear rings, hula hoops, rings that go on your fingers, but there's a set of rings that stand out above all the rest. Saturn's rings, discovered almost 400 years ago by the great scientist Galileo, and ever since their discovery they have been a mystery to astronomers. The questions loom, such as, why are they there? How were they formed? And what are they made of?
Saturn.
Saturn is the second largest planet in the solar system behind Jupiter, not including its rings, of course, which expand over 200 times the diameter of the planet. One would think that the rings around Saturn don't move very fast, but in fact they move at very high speeds, at an average of 7.7 kilometers per second, or 27,720 kilometers per hour. For comparison, the circumference of the Earth is 40,075 kilometers, which means that the rings could travel around the Earth 17 times in one day.
Rings.
Saturn's rings were made billions of years ago, most likely from asteroids or moons breaking apart in Saturn's orbit. This is because they either collided with each other or they were just destroyed because of Saturn's gravitational force.
Yep. Saturn is old and big.
Saturn's rings are massive. Some of the particles that are in the rings are the size of mountains, but can also be as small as a grain of sand. Although they extend thousands of miles beyond the planet's surface, the main rings are only about 30 feet thick.
Man, these rings sure are pretty interesting.
Yes, they are. NASA found them so interesting that they sent a satellite to Saturn named Cassini in order to study the rings and other objects around Saturn. Cassini was launched on October 15, 1997, and arrived at Saturn in 2004 and has been collecting data ever since. Cassini has discovered many things that we from Earth could never have dreamed of. One of the most interesting things that has turned up is the fact that Saturn's rings can form what astronomers have dubbed spokes. These spokes look like fingers that reach out from the edge of Saturn and go along the rings. Scientists believe that the spokes are made of tiny ice particles that are lifted by electrostatic charge, and they only last a few hours.
Spokes.
The rings are divided into 7 groups, named in order of their discovery. Outwards from Saturn, they are named D, C, B, A, F, G, and E.
That's not how the alphabet works.
The F ring is kept in place by 2 of Saturn's moons, Prometheus and Pandora. These are referred to as shepherd moons. Other satellites are responsible for creating division in the rings as well as shepherding them.
On the final orbit, Cassini will plunge into Saturn, fighting to keep its antenna pointed at Earth as it transmits its farewell. In the skies of Saturn, the journey ends, as Cassini becomes part of the planet itself.
Saturn.